What up, though, YouTube? How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. Today, well, I was gonna do a live about this information, but after receiving it, it's not much information to go off of. It's important information inside of these documents, but not enough to do a whole live about it. So I will read it and share it with you guys, and pretty much just give you a breakdown of. It's going to go ahead and provide context to what happened earlier in the preliminary hearing with the Jarvis Butts case. And then it's also going to give us a little bit of context to what happened on August 4th. I was going to do 2 live scheduled this weekend, but it's not enough information to go off of, but it's information that's kind of important to know. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up. But before I do, I want to do my copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, scholarship, and research. And my own personal disclaimer, I am not a licensed practicing attorney, and I cannot give legal advice. So I'm going to go ahead and share the transcripts we have 2 probable cause hearings from Jarvis Butts. As of this year, well, from earlier this year, after the preliminary had already concluded. The first probable cause hearing was January 17th, and then the second one was March 7th. And I'm going to pretty much go ahead and read those with you guys today. Give me 1 second. Some very insightful information in both of these. So I'm going to start with January 17th and go in order for you guys. Sorry, guys, my computer is loading a little bit slow today. All right, so here we go. I'm going to get it pulled up. All right, so this is the first probable cause hearing that he had. This is with the new judge, Judge Nicholas Hathaway, after the case was bound over from 36th District to 3rd Circuit Court. The people of the state of Michigan versus Jarvis Butts, and these are the file numbers in the upper right-hand corner of all of his current cases, not previous cases, but current cases that he has pending with the court. It says, proceedings taken by way of Jav's recording in the above entitled cause before the Honorable Nicholas John Hathaway, Judge of the 3rd Judicial Circuit Court, City of Detroit, at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Courtroom 405, Detroit, Michigan. And then here you have the appearances on behalf of Tina Ripley, who's the assistant prosecutor on the case, Ken Riggin, Cheryl Quick, and Lauren Butler. Those were his attorneys, Jarvis Butts attorneys. There are no witnesses because this is a probable cause hearing pretty much. And this was actually done via Zoom. It says the court, all right, good morning, everyone. We are calling cases 24-002236, 24-006232, 25-000241, lastly 25-000218. all in the matters of people versus Jarvis Butts. Can I have appearances, please? Ms. Ripley, good morning, Your Honor. Tina Ripley on behalf of the people, P83688, and that's their lawyer number. The court, thank you, counsels. That would be the judge as the court. Mr. Riggins, and good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. Neighborhood Defender Services by Ken Riggins, P82125, on behalf of Mr. Jarvis Butts. Ms. Quick, good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Service by Cheryl Quick, P83973, also on behalf of Jarvis Butts with co-counsel Lauren Butler. Ms. Butler, P88126. The court, thank you. Your name, sir? Defendant Butts, Jarvis Butts. The court, thank you. All right, everyone. Today is the date and time docketed for a calendar conference and a pretrial on the 24 files, and then we are here for arraignments on the information for the 225 files. I like to start with the 25 files that are here for arraignment. Attorneys, how does your client wish to proceed? Ms. Quick, Mr. Butts will waive formal reading of the information and stand mute, so that's a not guilty plea. The court, thank you. Pleas of not guilty will be entered on behalf of your client. What I'd like to do is some scheduling. Why don't we schedule these together? Let's get one calendar conference date scheduled for approximately 4 weeks from or so from today's date. And attorneys, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have any other pending action dates on the 24 files? Ms. Quick, not to my knowledge. Ms. Butler, not to my knowledge. The court, I didn't think so either, just making sure. I'm looking the week of February 24th for calendar conference. Mr. Riggins, Your Honor, the court says, is that a bad week, counsel? Mr. Riggins, yeah, I'm scheduled to be in trial that week. Ms. Quick, but I think the following week, the three of us look clear if the prosecutor is available. The court, the week of March 3rd, Mr. Riggins, March 3rd, yes. The court, okay. Ms. Ripley, I will be in a trial, judge. The court, what about Friday, March 7th? Ms. Ripley says, so I would anticipate I could probably make the 7th work. Ms. Quick works for us. The court, why don't we do a calendar conference for all files Friday, March 7th? And do you prefer first thing in the morning, or do you want me to schedule this a little later in the day? First thing, Ms. Ripley, first thing is fine. The court says, okay, we'll set it at 9 o'clock. Attorneys for defense, were there any additional issues that you needed to take up or address for today's purposes? Ms. Quick, does the court want to go ahead and order and do an order for transcripts? The court, yes, we will get that order entered, and the exams were conducted in both of the 25 files. Yes. Well, Mr. Riggins, yes. And Ms. Ripley, yes. The court, very good. Those transcripts are supposed to be generated automatically, but we'll make sure we get the order entered so there is no delays in getting those transcripts. Ms. Ripley, thank you. The court, was there anything else? Ms. Quick, no. The court, okay. Ms. Ripley. Ms. Ripley, yes, Judge. I did file the amended information with notice of the habitual offender for the homicide case. I e-filed that, and I plan on filing the one for this new 25 case. And I believe when they're saying 25, they're referring to the year, so that would be this year. The court, all right, very good. So at the next hearing date, or at our calendar conference date for our files, we can start talking about logistics for trial dates, motion hearing dates, and motion filing deadlines, okay? Mr. Riggins, yes. Ms. Quick, thank you, Judge. The court, hopefully you'll have those transcripts by the next hearing date so we can start ironing out all the logistics, ironing out all those logistics. Was there anything else that needs to be placed or addressed on today's record? Ms. Quick, not for the defense. Ms. Ripley, not for the people, Judge. The court, all right. Thank you for all your time and patience. That will conclude our record. Ms. Ripley, thank you. Ms. Quick, thank you. And this is just the ending, pretty much, of that particular hearing. Not much was pretty much done. It was just pretty much trying to iron out a lot of issues. Give me 1 second, guys, because I'm going to go ahead. All right, here we go. State of Michigan in the Circuit Court for the County of Wayne Criminal Division, the people of the state of Michigan versus Jarvis Butts. And here's the file numbers 25-00218. -01-FC, and these are the following: 25-00241, 24-002-236, 24-006-232. Proceedings taken by the way of Jav's recording in the above entitled cause before the Honorable Nicholas Judge Hathaway, Judge of the Third Judicial Circuit Court, City of Detroit at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Courtroom 405, Detroit, Michigan, on March 7, 2025. And you have your appearances by Tina Ripley and Matthew Makepeace, who are the assistant prosecutors on this case. And you have Ken Riggins and Cheryl Quick and Lauren Butler, who are Jarvis Butts defense attorneys. There are no witnesses because this is a calendar conference. This took place on March 7th, Detroit, Michigan at 9:23. It was a Zoom recorded hearing. The court, all right, good morning, everyone. We are calling cases 25-000241, 24-006-232, 24-002-236, and lastly, 25-00218, all in the matters of People versus Jarvis Butts. Today is the conference day for all files. Can I have appearances? Why don't we start with the prosecutors? Ms. Ripley, good morning, Your Honor. Tina Ripley on behalf of the people, P83688. Mr. Makepeace, and good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Makepeace on behalf of the people, P82796. Ms. Quick, good morning, Your Honor. Neighborhood Defender Services by Cheryl Quick, P83973, together with co-counsel. Mr. Riggins, and good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. Neighborhood Defender Services by Ken Riggins, P82125, on behalf of Mr. Jarvis Butts. Ms. Butler, good morning, Your Honor. Lauren Butler, P88126, on behalf of Mr. Jarvis Butts. Your name as well. Defendant Butts, Jarvis Butts. The court, thank you. Good morning, everyone. You can all have a seat if you like. We are here today for calendar conference. All 4 of Mr. Butts' files are scheduled for today. Attorneys, who wants to take the lead? Are we simply doing some scheduling today? Ms. Quick. Well, we're still waiting on, we have a partial transcript. We don't have the full transcript yet. So, wow, from January to March, you would think they would have full transcripts, right? Not only were they behind with discovery, they were behind on transcripts. Okay. The court, is that on the 218, the file with the homicide murder first degree? And this is related to Neziah Harris, by the way. That's her case number. Mr. Riggins, that's correct. Ms. Ripley, yes. The court, okay. And I did receive, or the staff received, some correspondence that the court reporter is still continuing to work on that transcript. So why don't we get some dates scheduled, including, I like to schedule trial dates as well. So with regard to logistics, I'm thinking it would be prudent to set trial on the 218 file first. Is that what the parties are desiring, Mr. Makepeace? The people would request that we do that case first, Judge. Ms. Quick, no objection. The court, okay, very good. All right, let's get our trial date hashed out and sorted out first. What's the best estimate? And I know it was a very lengthy exam. How long do we anticipate the trial to take? So, wow. So this is the judge asking the attorneys, how long is the trial going to take, or he anticipates that the trial will take? What's the best estimate of the people? Mr. Makepeace, Judge, it would probably be about 3 to 4 weeks with the amount of witnesses that we plan to or intend to call. The court, all right. And how many witnesses would that approximately be? Well, I would say anywhere from 40 or more. So the state has 40 or more witnesses, and they're anticipating that this is going to be about a 4-week trial, which is about a month. So it should start around early October, probably end around early November, maybe. The court, okay, very good. And the witnesses from the defense at this point in time, approximation? Or approximation. Sorry, I messed that word all up. Okay, very good. And witnesses from the defense at this point in time, approximation. Mr. Riggins, approximately 10, Your Honor. Okay. I want to pause right here. So the court just asked for the defense or the defendant side how many witnesses they plan to call to defend him, and they said 10. So I'm kind of curious to know who does he plan to call as witnesses. I know that he plans to probably call some of his concubines to the stand, of course, but I'm curious to know who's trying to defend him. Miss Quick, yes. The court, okay. And you all are thinking this is going to be a 3 to 4 week trial? Mr. Riggins, yes. Miss Ripley, yes. The court, okay. Well, let's get our date. What dates? From the people, let's just start talking about earliest availability for a 3 to 4 week trial. So they're just pretty much ironing out how long it's going to take, when it's going to start. Ms. Ripley says, Judge, my first availability is at this point is going to be October or later. Mr. Makepeace, same with mine, Judge. The court, all right. From defense, do you have availability in October? Ms. Quick, yes. Our calendar looks clear for all three of us in October. The court says, okay. Ms. Quick, clear enough. The court, well, we could start jury selection Monday, October 6th from the people. Is that date going to work? And that is the actual start date, guys, is October 6th. Mr. Makepeace, yeah, that's good for the people, Judge. The court, from defense, Ms. Quick, works for us. The court says, okay, so with that estimate, that's putting us through 3 weeks will be in the week of October 20th. And if it goes 4 weeks, the week of October 27th. Again, I just want to make sure that we're all good with regard to the weeks following. Your weeks are clear. Yes. Mr. Riggins says yes. Miss Ripley says yes, Judge. Ms. Quick, yes. The court, all right. So we will set the 25-00218 file for trial to begin Monday, October 6th. And then let's get final conference dates scheduled for all files, and we'll set a motion filing deadline. We'll set a motion filing deadline as well. I'm hoping we will have the transcripts here hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I would assume with that trial date being in October, we have some time to work with. But I'd like to see you all again for a final conference. You'll have plenty of time to review the transcript and file any pretrial motions. How about Friday, June 6th? Ms. Ripley says I'm scheduled to be in trial that day, Judge. The court says on the Friday, yes. Ms. Ripley says I anticipate it probably. The court, what day does that trial start? Miss Ripley, the 4th. The court, the 4th. We could do this. I'm going to move into the next week. What about Friday, June 13th? Miss Ripley, that's good. The court, from defense, Miss Quick, I can't do the 13th, Your Honor. The court, the 13th is no good. Miss Quick, that whole week is not good for me. I could do any of the days of the week of the 2nd or the week of the 16th. Looks like we're all clear, either the first week of June or the 3rd week. Mr. Makepeace, Judge, could we go to the week of the 16th? I'm going to be in a trial starting on the 2nd, that last. The court says the week of the 16th is, yes, we can absolutely get it scheduled that week. There is the Juneteenth holiday. Is it that Thursday? Miss Ripley, we are off that day, Judge. That is a holiday for us. The court says, I understand. Miss Ripley, yes. The court, I'm just noting that that's a short week, so we can't use Thursday. We can do this on Friday, June 20th, if you want. And that was supposed to have been the final pretrial conference, but it got pushed back to August 4th due to his recent charge that he caught. And I believe it was, forgot the county's name. I know it was in Allen. Well, it's Wayne County, but it's Allen Park. My bad. It's Allen Park. My bad. Ms. Ripley, thank you. Mr. Riggins, that's good for the defense. Ms. Quick, that's good. Mr. Makepeace, yes. The court, okay. Friday, June 20th. That will be the final conference for all. I'm going to anticipate that to be a motion hearing date as well, assuming that motions are timely filed. I'm going to set a motion for filing deadline for May 30th. I think that should give everyone adequate time to review and respond. So motions timestamped and filed no later than May 30th. And then in the event the people are going to file a written response, would be due to the following Friday, June 6th. All right. Do we want to start talking about trial dates on the other files at this point? Mr. Riggins, Your Honor, respectfully, at this point, we like to just focus on the homicide case. The court says, all right, Mr. Riggins, and that may tell us where we're going with the other cases. So it's not like they were originally going to have the cases separated at one point, but then they just had them all together. The court, so effectively the other files will tag along with the other file. Mr. Riggins, yes. The court, all right. Are there any offers on these files at this point? Mr. Makepeace, not at this time, Judge. The court says, all right. Were there any additional issues that needed to be addressed from the people for today's purposes? Mr. Makepeace, not for the people. The court, from the defense. Ms. Quick, no, Your Honor. The court. All right, very good. We have our next dates. We will see you all then for final conference. Make sure the motions are filed timely, and that will conclude our record for the day. Wow. So there's not much to really go off on. Those were the transcripts from the final probable cause hearing, or for those calendar conferences dates, sorry, from January and March. That just pretty much gives us context to what happened in between that people were not aware of pretty much. And what we know from this is that the prosecution now has 40 new witnesses, but the defense has 10 witnesses that he plans to call to testify on his behalf. And I'm just kind of curious on who those witnesses could be. We know some of his baby mamas or whatever, but I want to know who exactly. We already had the August 4th probable cause, and then we're going to come back on September 16th for the final pretrial conference. And then after that, that's when trial will start in October, hopefully. Don't quote me on that because we don't know what could possibly happen. But that's all I got for you guys, folks. I wasn't going to, there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. I try to split the days up, but that didn't work. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys that information all together, all at once. But yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not, share if you want to. That's all I got for you folks. Have a good one. I'm out.